Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So, monthly stimulus checks have been approved and will begin going out for some Americans. We're going to be going over who those Americans are, but really, this just got me thinking about something which I'm going to cover in today's video, and I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts about it. But before I go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, so of course, during the pandemic, we had 3 different stimulus checks go out. Of course, those were just one-time payments. They weren't the monthly direct payments that are now going out to some Americans. And actually, one more direct payment going out on a monthly basis was actually approved, and right now they're going through the application process. But like I mentioned earlier on in the beginning of today's video, this really got me thinking about something which I'm going to cover in just a moment. So, according to the Washington Examiner, stimulus check update, direct payment worth up to $500 to be sent to Minneapolis residents in 9 days. So a guaranteed income program in Minneapolis will process its next payment to recipients in 9 days. The payment, which will be sent on June 20th, is part of the Minneapolis Guaranteed Basic Income Pilot Program, which began in June 2022 and is expected to pay recipients monthly cash payments through June 2024. 200 households were selected to receive payments from this program, and they can all spend the $500 payments in whatever way suits them best, according to the city's website. So, of course, in all of these programs, they have different guidelines. So, for example, you have to be at least 18, there might be a max age, and of course, there is an income requirement. So, you must be right around the federal poverty line or maybe slightly above that range. And as they mentioned here, it's only 200 residents, and after they do this, they're going to do some type of study to see how their life's changed and things like that. And like I mentioned, there's actually an application process going on right now for more of these monthly payments depending on where you live. So according to the Washington Examiner, stimulus check update, applications for monthly payments worth $500 open in just 8 days. So a guaranteed income program in Massachusetts that will give selected participants monthly payments of $500 will start accepting applications in over a week. The applications for the program, titled Rise Up Cambridge, will open up on June 1st and close on July 31st. Applications will be approved on a rolling basis. To qualify for the program, an applicant must be a resident of Cambridge, be at least 18 years old, and have at least one person in his or her household under the age of 21. The household's income must also be at or below 250% of the federal poverty level. So again, applications are opening up there, and pretty much all over the United States, pretty much almost every state has some type of program like this going on right now. And this really got me thinking about something. At a certain point in time, are we going to, as an entire country, have some type of universal basic income? Or, otherwise, if you want to name them stimulus checks or whatever you want to name them, are we ever going to reach a point in this country where every single person, maybe depending on your income, whether that's $150,000 and less per year like those stimulus checks were, or $75,000, or perhaps even less, are we ever going to reach a point where these are going to go to every single American rather than just maybe 200 people in a city in Minnesota or something like that, for example? Well, it got me thinking about something. Like, AI has been very huge over the last year or so. I mean, ChatGPT has been all over. You see the power of AI. We've been seeing videos of people talking, have Joe Biden speaking about something, and it's not actually Joe Biden talking. And, you see the power of this. And we've heard different experts come out and say that AI is going to be replacing millions of jobs. We've heard over the last 10 years that, like, truck drivers are more than likely going to lose their jobs due to automation, because we're going to have trucks being driven by robots. Whether or not you like that, I am interested in what your thoughts are on that. Are you comfortable with robots driving trucks? Some proponents might say that it actually might be safer having them rather than real people, because with people, they might fall asleep behind the wheel because, they're just very tired driving a truck for, 10 to 14 hours per day. It's extremely tiring. But regardless, it definitely seems that automation is going to take over. you go into pretty much any grocery store and you can hardly actually find a human being as a cashier. It's just all these, self-checkout lines. So it's pretty crazy what's going on. But according to this Newsweek article, they actually make an argument of why AI is about to decimate millions of jobs, and then it's actually time for universal basic income. So with the unveiling of ChatGPT, it's apparent now that artificial intelligence will transform the world of work. This seems poised to happen sooner rather than later. But unlike economic transformations of the past, this next revolution will disrupt almost every mode of employment. Goldman Sachs recently put out an economic report that found that AI could expose 300 million jobs to automation in the US and Europe. Without some kind of new economic imagination, this kind of transformation would be catastrophic on almost every level imaginable. The technological update that AI provides will be useless if it is not accompanied by an economic policy update as well. From what I have seen over my time spent in the real economy, the economic policy that the coming age of AI should be met with is universal basic income, or a guaranteed basic income for all American workers. What would that look like in practice? Stockton, California began a UBI experiment in 2019. The program gave selected residents $500 a month for 2 years with no strings attached. Participants in the experiment reportedly had, quote, improved job prospects, financial stability, and overall well-being. As one participant explained, before the program, they were paying bills and didn't know how they were going to eat. But after receiving basic income, it was like, quote, being able to breathe. So, of course, there's just another example of a program sending out monthly payments. And there was actually a bill in the last Congress that would have sent out monthly payments to all Americans between the age of 18 and 65. You can see up on the screen there, the Guaranteed Income Pilot Program Act of 2021. Now, this only had 5 co-sponsors. They were all Democrats. So this bill really had no chance of passing. But you can see that in Washington, we have lawmakers introducing bills for these monthly payments. It may be something that we have to do down the road. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Would you be for these universal basic income program payments going out every single month? Are you for it? Are you against it? Of course, we have the arguments for it. Once again, saying it's going to give people a better life. They're going to be able to breathe easier because they're going to have an extra $500 a month coming in. They're not going to have to worry about going out and working a second or third job. Perhaps it's going to allow Americans to spend more time with their families. It's going to allow people, to participate in activities that they really enjoy because they're not going to have to be working all the time. Now, of course, we're going to have arguments against it, saying that it might just make it so people are disincentivized to work. Of course, my argument against that is that, I really feel like in general, people like to work because it gives them a sense of purpose. If they're just sitting around the house all day watching TV, it usually just makes you feel bad. You want to have a sense of purpose and work some sort of job, and especially a job, that you like, that you don't have to consider a job, that you can wake up every morning and be excited about going to. If you like dogs, it might be working, at a dog shelter or something like that. So I think working does give people a sense of purpose. So I don't think this would necessarily disincentivize people to work. It might just allow Americans to take a job, that pays a little bit less because, they can afford now taking less money to work a job that they like because of this extra money coming in. Now, there's, of course, a huge issue with AI. We know that, of course, with all good things also comes with bad things. And, this is so alarming that the Senate is actually going to be holding a hearing on AI today. So according to Fox News, Schumer announced the Senate will hold first ever senators only hearing on artificial intelligence. And this is actually for other reasons than what we were discussing in today's video. So according to Fox News, the US Senate will hold its first members only briefing on artificial intelligence this week amid security and election concerns. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer tweeted out on Monday evening that tomorrow the Senate will convene the first ever senators only briefing on artificial intelligence. Domestically, the rapidly evolving technology is being developed and utilized by companies across various industries to wide appeal and much fanfare. So obviously, even though automation can help us out a great bit, think of, like robot vacuums, for example, instead of having to broom the floor every day and clean your home or apartment, we now have these automated robots that you can pick up at the store for, as cheap as less than $100. Of course, some of them are up to $1,000 or more. And obviously those things, just for example, help us out in a great way. But like I mentioned, with all good things, of course, comes bad things. So we've seen like AI, like deep fakes, where you have like a video of Joe Biden saying something that he's not actually saying, but it sounds exactly like his voice or looks exactly like him. And of course, we could have like a video of ourselves online. Think of someone who posted a video of you speaking online. It looked exactly like you, sounded exactly like you, but in the video it was saying something absolutely terrible that made you look like a terrible person, made you lose your job, your friends disliked you because of what you said, but you didn't actually say it. So obviously that could have very negative impacts, and this could of course have very negative impacts on the election coming up. Like, think for example, if they had a deep fake of Joe Biden coming out saying that if you elect me for president, I'm going to start a nuclear war with Russia, or something like that. Obviously that's really going to hurt his chances. Or the same could be said against like Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis if he came out and a deep fake AI made one of them say something absolutely terrible that could really hurt their chances in the election. But let me know what you guys think about this. What do you think about AI? What do you think about monthly direct payments? Again, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments below as always. But that's all the news that I have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.